talking about The Boys, since we're definitely not going to talk about The Acolyte. Real fast, I'm not going to go long into it. Last week I talked about The Boys because a big thing came out and about the writing was all anti-right wing. They're making fun of all the right wing people, and just putting in all this symbolism to invoke anger towards the right wing, and Homelander's Trump. And I told you at the time, I was like, if you don't like it, you feel like you're being made fun of, don't watch it. But it's just a caricature. I was saying they're making caricatures of the right wing, and they're putting out things. They don't really know what the right wing is. They don't know who they are. They don't understand their ideas or their arguments because they don't listen. And there's no one around to tell them because they're inside of a giant bubble. So they're inside of their bubble. They're like, oh, everyone who likes Trump must be like Trump, whatever. And then this recent episode that came out, I was like, well, if we're talking about symbolism, this one's pretty interesting. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the recent episode of The Boys, I'm not going to spoil it too hard. It's not that big of a spoil. But one of the characters who's on the left side politically, the good side, according to The Boys, is an old guy. And he has a stroke and he has brain damage and he's in a hospital bed. So we're talking about symbolism here. Who does that remind you of? Old guy, brain dead, in a hospital bed. But the main character that's his family. He doesn't want him to die, so he takes the super soldier serum, Marvel reference, the V, and he steals it, and he's going to give it to him so he can bring him back to life. Right? Dead guy doesn't have much going on. They're going to juice him up. What does this sound like? Anyway, lo and behold, they argue about it. Maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they should. They don't want to do something where they do it anyway. And he comes back and he's like on tip top of his game, right? He's got the super suit, not showing any signs of anything yet, but super cogent is what Joe Scarborough would say. Comes back, and then after about 10 minutes, because he's been brain dead for like a week, his brain loses it, and he starts teleporting and reappearing inside of people and blowing them to bits because it's superpowers. And he just starts massacring this entire hospital because he's lost his mind. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't recognize his son. He's just teleporting and in and out and running and just killing people on accident, sort of not on accident. And he has Alzheimer's, so he doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what happened. He keeps looking down like, what's all this blood? And then he freaks out and then accidentally kills another person. If we're gonna go strictly symbolism, guys, I don't think The Boys. I think they're playing the long game. Let's just say that. So next time you watch The Boys and it gets to this part in the story, if I was a writer and they were like, we wrote a Trump character, can you write a Biden one? Somebody in that writer's room was having a good time, and so I think they wrote a Biden character who has Alzheimer's, in a coma. They give him super serum, they juice him up, and then he kills everything and does a way worse job. And that came out last week, right before the debate. What kind of cool simulation do we live in? See, this is the checkmate, atheists.